Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. Well, StillViewer.com has an article up on an interview they did recently with Phil Spencer and his thoughts on VR and the future of it. Now, I'm just going to be glancing over this article. I will not be reading the whole thing. So if you guys want to read it in its entirety, I will be leaving a link in the description of the video so you can see it there. Now, sitting down with Phil Spencer last month in Sydney, the head of Xbox discussed where virtual reality sits in his plans for both Xbox One and Windows PC gaming. He said, "I don't know, just to be honest. I love the technology behind VR. I have an HTC Vive and I have an Oculus Rift. I've also used a PlayStation VR device for a lot of demos and stuff." Now, despite trying virtual reality in most of its current forms, Spencer is not yet sold. He went on to say, "I don't think the creators of the game space have yet found, well, they haven't obviously perfected the craft of building VR games. It's so early. I think we're a couple of years before we really see that hit the mainstream. I've seen great video uses of VR, like taking you to places you can never time travel, just like the bottom of the Grand Canyon, or they simulate the surface of Mars. Some really cool experiences users can see." Now, just because Spencer's not seeing the type of applications he'd like to doesn't mean he's not planning ahead. He also said, "I think VR will find its spot in gaming. I would make that bet. We designed Scorpio as a VR capable console, whether that happens this year, next year, or the year after. Like I said, I still think the creative community has to get its arms around what are these new tools and this new feeling, this new immersion. What experiences do you put in people's hands to have that long term engagement? Most of the things I'm playing now feel like demos and experiments, which I actually think is the absolute right thing to have happening. That's not a criticism at all. It should be happening, but I think it will take time." Now, he goes on in the article to talk about Kinect and the mistakes that they made with Kinect and not wanting to repeat that with VR. And he also talks about HoloLens and why they chose to go with HoloLens and when they think that will be coming to the mainstream. Like I said, I've left a link in the description so you guys can go there and read that. Now, I gotta say, I have a PSVR and I have tried the Oculus and I have tried the Vive. And I have to agree with him. Most of the games do feel like experiences. If they're games, they are quite short. And if they're experiences, they are quite short as well. And I think part of that is because I don't think it's healthy for you to be in the VR space for too long because you start to lose your depth in the real world because it starts to wire your brain a little bit differently. So I do think going forward, I don't think we're going to be seeing long VR games. I think we're obviously going to be seeing some better experiences, but I don't think that the games are going to be too long because, like I said, it's not healthy for your brain. As well, I do have some hope for VR in the near future. The Resident Evil 7 that's coming out for the PSVR, I've played the kitchen demo and it was scary as hell. And it does look quite promising. And also, there's another game, I think it's called Robinson the Journey, that's coming out next week. That also looks excellent, but I have to agree with him. It is short on the meat. It's a lot of demos and it is a lot of short experiences. I do think he's correct, and it's probably going to take about a year for these guys to get their hands wrapped around this. And as an early adopter, you pay the price with getting some games that aren't fully fledged, and of course, you pay a little bit more for it. And having a PSVR. The news that Microsoft announced last week with these new Windows 10 VR headsets has me feeling a little bit salty because these headsets, they don't require any cameras. They don't require any type of extensive setting up. You just have one wire that you put to your PC and that's it. It has a thing called inside out tracking. So it will know where you are in your virtual space without the need of a camera. So you don't have to muck up your room with wires or any type of cameras or set top boxes or, oh my God, do I have enough room? It'll just work. And I think this is excellent. Although we do need to know more details on these headsets. What are the resolutions? What type of games are they going to support? Because right now they have only talked about it supporting the holographic platform with the creators update that they have coming out in March. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about it. Do you guys think VR is good? Do you think it's too expensive? Do you think it's not ready yet? Do you agree with Phil Spencer? Do you disagree with him? I'd like to know what you guys think in the comment section. I'd ask you guys to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.